So, all right, genuine happy ending. Now, I think, I had a rule about the happy ending back in the day that it should be to be a true happy ending, it has to have no downside. It can't be like Schadenfreude, where you're making fun of somebody else who, fell. That's not what a real one would be. And I would argue that what's happening in the G20 qualifies, I mentioned it earlier, as a genuine, like, geopolitical positive move across the board, amazing turn. And the fact that Janet Yellen, as our first female Fed chairman, has been the person that coordinates this, makes it a possibility, and that all the treasury secretaries of all these countries at the G20 have signed on to it. Their leaders themselves will sign on to it as well. Most of them have some version of it. It might mean they raise taxes in their area, but there'll be offsets that can protect them so that it doesn't crash their economy. And since we're coming out of COVID, a lot of these countries are starting from scratch and having to rebuild where they were anyways. They were tied to the Belt and Road Initiative or to the old supply chains, and were stuck through the Suez Canal, didn't have a relationship with sort of the India, like Indo-Pacific transit system that they're trying to put together. So they're, we'll just... Now that we're, since the store burnt down, if we're going to rebuild it on the insurance, how would we make it better? We'd have, little kiosks where people could check themselves out instead of just always having to have somebody behind the counter. We'd have better customer service. We'd have, better lighting. We'd have, the shelves wouldn't be that tall, but we'd have more.
Maybe do something about that camera that looks at you while you're doing the self-checkout.
Yes, exactly. Maybe have it look like one of those Japanese home robots that smiles at you. Hello.
Yeah, and just some kind of filter that when you actually look directly at the camera, it's a little more kind.
Oh, yeah, the Target one, right, where you look up and
Yeah.
and you look like the world's dumbest criminal because you're like, we stare right in it. Like, yeah.
And even though I am intending to pay for everything that you can see on this camera right now, I feel immediately guilty.
Yes. Yeah, right. Well, I've been caught bagging my own items. The worst is when it tells you to put it in the bag. Like, please take the item and put it in the bag. And you're like, I did. The bag was full. It was a full bag, so I had to get another thing. I was just moving it. I moved it because I need another bag.
And you're looking
It's
for
too
the
big.
referee.
Yeah, right. And they're like, this is all on camera. I hope you know this. I hope you know that we can see you. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. The gum is so light that when I put it in the bag, it didn't materially change the weight of the whole thing. Can I just put my foot up on the whole thing and I'll just rest my foot there? Please put the item back in the bagging area. I can't. It won't fit.
And then if you put your foot up there, it'll ask you for all the different bags of kitty litter that you bought that you did not scan.
Oh yeah, right. That's the giant things. Like, oh God. And that's where you have to call somebody over and they just shake their head because they have to deal with it all the time. Bless their hearts. Yeah. This is supposed to make their life easier, and they actually probably have the hardest job of any cashier at the whole place. They run 5 machines instead of 1, right? Yeah. Bless their hearts. So the person, by the way, if you want to say hi and thank you to somebody at a store, it's the person who's monitoring the self-checkout things.
I do it every time.
They have the worst job. Everybody else gets to have a little chat thing and whatever, and your card didn't go through.
Well. The only time they interact with people are when things are not going well.
Exactly. They're just a bad. Anyway, so dealing with that, this thing, the G20 thing, is, I think, we'll call that the big one. On a smaller level, there was a discovery this week at the San Diego Zoo.
Is it gross?
It's a little gross, but kind of amazing, but also makes sense. Turns out, California condors, which we know have been near extinction, they've been fighting extinction, trying to keep them around for a while, can reproduce without having sex.
Oh my!
That's a scientific team led by San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance announced Thursday that California condors can reproduce without having sex. Researchers made the finding after genetic tests showed that 2 condors born in captivity didn't have fathers. Yes, they didn't have fathers. Well, they were fathers. They basically did their own thing. They're both, whatever at the same time. And that's not a misspelling of feathers. This phenomenon, known as parthenogenesis, has been seen in certain insects, fish, and reptiles. There's been a few cases among birds, but no one knew until now that female California condors could have offspring with nobody. So, and granted, those of you that have seen a condor, a beautiful bird, beautiful from the neck down.
I don't know what their faces look like.
Condors are the butter faces of... You're not going to like it. Don't do it. Do not do it. You will ruin the happy ending by Googling condor face. It's because condors.
Whoa.
Yeah, condors.
Hell.
Yeah, you asked for it. I told you. Condors literally evolved to stick their head in a corpse. So they eat. They're vultures. They basically. So they eat off of. There's no reason to have feathers on your head if they're just going to get scraped off by the bones of a mastodon or whatever. Oh, my God, right? So from the neck down, gorgeous bird. From the neck up, what happened, right? So it's no surprise that they end up having, it's all, nature went, of course you're going to have to reproduce alone. You're unfortunate. This is an unfortunate look.
They look like bollocks.
Yeah, they're scary. I mean, obviously the Skeksis were based after the California condor, if you like the dark crystal.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah.
Dark crystal fans.
Anyways, nice thing is, they might save themselves from extinction. But as they say in the old after-school specials, don't try this at home. Because, you'll hurt yourself. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Unless you look like a condor, and then all bets are off. To everybody, thanks for tuning in today. We appreciate it. I'll be able to take calls next week because I'll be, back in the regular studio. Thanks everybody for putting up with our technological challenges. I will see you next time. Thank you, Chicago. Thanks everybody on CPT. Don't forget, like and subscribe, thumbs up. Join us every week. We're here for you.